Hey guys, it's SF and welcome back to SF Academy, and this time I am finally going to be running the next tier of trial quests, which is going to be Gravity Front. And what it is basically no gravity barrier monsters, and I'll be hopefully be teaching you some of the advanced mechanics of gravity barrier monsters and the gravities of themselves. So as you can see, my team is all the three monsters that they gave me during the first tier during Hazard Center. So Jormungandr, he is leveled max and his mornings are plus. Pizarro, his levels are maxed but no mornings on him. And then Saito, the Survivor S, is at level 64 with some mornings on him. He'll be at max level very soon. It's just that I didn't have time to run turtles. But once we get to the boss stage of this trial, everybody will be at max level. Probably not at max mornings, depending on how confident I am. But I don't think you'll be needing max mornings. Anyway, so let's go to the first one, which is the fire one. And I recommend bringing no gravity barrier monsters. But this time there are 0 no gravity barrier monsters in my friends list. That's kind of sad, but let's go with Bahamut. He is a flight and a demon's bane, which are 2 slayers, and then strike shot is a meteor and one with laser XL, and thankfully it's maxed out and all that stuff. And since I'll be using this team, and if you guys didn't had your luck with no gravity barrier monsters, I guess I'll introduce each of the 3 monsters that we got. So first is Jormungandr. So he is basically all you really need to know is his ability. So he's a TNT Slayer L. His gauge shot is a no gravity barrier monster, no gravity barrier, and then strike shot is meteor. So all the monsters that you hit with Jormungandr gets hit by a meteor. And for this meteor, there's a chance that they will be asleep. I'll get to sleep effects sometime in the near future, I'm not sure. And then a one-way laser L for his bomb combo, so it's an upward laser. Next is Saito, the Survivor S. So he's also a TNT Slayer, but not a TNT Slayer L. I'll talk about differences once we get to the boss stage. Gauge is the same as Jormungandr, which is a no gravity barrier monster. And then Strike Shot is an increase in speed and strength and does a lot of damage to shields, so he can break shields with his Strike Shot. And then bomb combo is a lock on Shockwave 6. And then last one is Pizarro. He is only a no gravity barrier monster. And then his strike shot is leads teammates against the enemy. So what I usually call these kinds of strike shots are called command strike shots. What you gotta do is you gotta hit all my allies, and then they will move around and deal damage as well. And then bomb combo is a spread shot XL3. And let's start going through these dungeons. First one is Sweltering Battlefront, which is the fire one. And I do plan on bringing these 3 into even though the elements are not in my favor. So like for the wood one, although I have 2 water monsters, I'm still going to bring it. I don't think it'll make that big of a difference. The damage output is relatively small, in my opinion. But what you gotta do for Jormungandr is, because of his bomb combo, he is a one-way laser bomb combo, so you want to keep him under the enemies. As you can see, this team is just doing just fine in terms of damage. Although this is the earlier stages of the tier trials quest, and all my guys are at max level, or most of them are at max level. So I want to keep my guys in the bottom. And as you can see, the Slayer proccing on some of the monsters. And I'm going to keep Jormungandr at the bottom. And I'm going to let my Saito S deal the damage. So this is probably going to be relatively easy. I want to hit Jormungandr, but I guess not. There we go. Although the Bahamut X is not Bahamut X, just normal Bahamut. and then stuff like that. I guess I'll show you one advanced technique of no gravity barrier monsters, especially with Jormungandr, because of his bump combo, which is an upward laser. You do not want to be on top of monsters because his bump combo will not do anything. Due to his gaze shot being a no gravity barrier, you can actually miss your gaze shot on purpose to give yourself a good position for his one-way laser. So I'm going to miss my gaze shot, and hopefully this will work out. I kind of did it. So I used the gravity barrier to slow down my Jormungandr to be right under the mobs, which is the fire dog dude. And then I can just hit him, and then that'll do damage. So that's one. I think that's basically the only advanced mechanic with no gravity barrier monsters. You can use the gravity barriers to your advantage, especially with some bump combos like one-way lasers. That's why I kind of brought Bahamut. As you can see, it slows down. If I had like a no gravity barrier monster, I would have just sped right through. Like, if I hit my gravity barrier now, it'll just move away really randomly, and I cannot really control the position of Jormungandr, and that's why he's on the top right now. But if you miss the gaze shot and then hit the gravity barrier and slow down speed, then you wouldn't have a problem with positioning. It does take a lot of practice, in my opinion, positioning for one-way lasers. You gotta remember the speed of all the monsters that you have. Like, even now, like, I just like completely miss. Although I did defeat the boss, Bahamut is not in the best position, and I'm going to miss. Actually, I'll miss it completely. Oh, I hit it. It's habit of me trying to hit every single gauge. It's a force of habit. It's really hard. Once you get used to hitting gauges, it's so hard to miss. But all in all, it ended up really well. And as you can see, the bump combo doing work. And this should end it for this stage. Almost. Soon I want to talk about Pizzaro's strike shot sometime in the near future, but this dungeon is relatively easy because my monsters, even my 5-star monsters, are doing good work. But relatively easy. Okay, the next stage for Gravity Front is Wooded Battlefront. Like I said, although I have 2 water monsters, I'm still gonna bring them, and I still don't have any no gravity barrier monsters, so it is a wood. So I'll bring a fire monster. I'll bring Gilgamesh to it. He is a no warp character, which is actually good for Kushinada, but that's the next tier. That's not this tier. That's in the one after. It's called Dimensional Travel. But just like the other ones, let's see the damage output. Even though it's the weaker, still not bad. A few bounces, which is not bad at all. In terms of elements, the damage difference is 30%. 30%, so I deal 30% less damage, and I take in 30% more damage. So my Pizarro will deal 30% more damage to these guys, and they will take in 30% less. Whereas my Jormungandr and Saito Hajime will output 30% less damage and take in 30% more damage. So they are getting a little bit tougher. I couldn't one-shot them, but that's because I did have the elemental advantage with the last stage as well, because that was a fire dungeon. Okay, doing well. I did take the sword, which is 50% increase of attack. Okay, Gilgamesh is really slow, but he is very powerful with his stats. Although I should have kept that gravity barrier so I can position Jormungandr a little bit better. Yep, I completely failed. Okay. Boss time. Now the trick is to move my Jormungandr downwards. Shouldn't be that bad. I should clear off these guys first. And you can pinch. It's called pinching, where you put a monster in between two monsters. Put your own monster in between two enemies. That's a little bit more advanced. I'll get more to it when it's really needed during the damage wall stage. And if you want to learn more about one-way lasers and positioning, I did have a video way back a long time ago where I basically teach people how to position for one-way lasers. I'll put that link up if you guys want to learn more, but one-way lasers right now are not that prominent anymore, so you might not be using them as much if you have better choices. And I'm just going to miss my gauge. Oh, I didn't even go up. Okay, that's just a fail by me. Okay, in position now. Good. Okay, next. And there's these shields do not shoot damage walls. I did say in the first video that color shields shoot out damage walls. These guys do not. Some dungeons don't have those color shields shooting out damage walls, but some do. Most of the time they do, but as you can see, these guys will not. Okay. And Gilgamesh should finish it. And I don't think I'll be using his strike shot. I'm just gonna go up and down, and that should be it. Okay. Not that bad. Even if two of my monsters are water, it's not that bad of a stage. Okay, third stage, and it's Frigid Bowfront, which is water. So let's see if there's any no gravity barrier monsters. Yes, there is. There is Lucifer, who is a no gravity barrier monster and a D&T Slayer. So basically the same ability set as Saito, but with better stats and a lot better pump combos and stuff. But you know, in terms of ability, same as Saito. Hajime S. So this will work really, really well because all my monsters can move around really freely. And these guys, this stage is a little bit different if I recall. The smudgers up top, as you can see, there's no gravity barrier, no gravity barriers. These smudgers will produce gravity barriers. There are some dungeons that are like this. I can only think of one or two that actually do this, and those are like savage stages. So I guess one's savage, one's impossible, and I think there's an extreme. I'm not really sure, but this stage, the smudges will shoot out gravity barriers. So technically, you don't need to bring a no gravity barrier monster. You can just clear the smudges, and then they don't produce any gravity barriers. As you see, the smudges are gone, so no gravity barriers. Awesome. Okay, boss time. So basically, clear off the smudges and should be okay. There we go. You don't have to deal with gravity barriers now. Although the boss shoots one out himself. And I am going to... It's going to be really hard to miss my gauge and then land right under him. So I'm going to do like this way and miss my gauge. Hopefully this works. Not bad. It worked somewhat. I say that's a good shot. That was a good shot. And boom. And next, second bar. Right there. And here comes the gravity barriers. And time for me to get under. That was not great. Okay. Next stage. Last one. And hit my bump combos. Oh, I missed Jormungandr. That's a little sending. And this time is a perfect shot to miss my gauge. And I hit my gauge anyways. Which put me out of position, which is really bad. But yeah, once you get into the rhythm of gauge shots, it's really hard to miss. It's even harder than actually hitting a gauge shot once you're too used to it. Okay, that's that stage. Okay, next fourth one is Frigid Bowfront. And it's gonna be dark monsters, so no gravity barrier monsters, so I'm just gonna bring, I don't know, Cthulhu. Why not? He is a no damage one monster. He is a farmable and a very good farmable for beginners, and I'll probably do a video during the weekend when he's up. He's gonna be up on the weekend, so he's usually up on the weekend. Depends on, maybe they changed it later on, but it's gonna be on the weekends. Because this dungeon is not that bad, even for beginners. And miss my gauge right under nobody because I killed them all. Okay. These measures are a little bit tougher in terms of tankiness. A few hits will not be able to defeat them, so I might have to bring out some new techniques later on, depending. And Jormungandr is perfect, and boom. And Cthulhu's in his 5-star form, I think, not his 6-star form. I don't remember his look. I hardly use him. Okay. This stage introduces a thing called revivers. So revivers are the zombie looking dudes on the top right, the one that looks like those Chinese zombies. I forgot their names, but what they do is after their cooldowns, after they decrease the cooldown to 0, then they will revive a monster that has been dead. So in general cases, you should clear those guys first, because the more mobs you leave up, the more damage you'll take. As you can see, he's revived the cat, and I'm still taking damage. So you want to clear off the zombie first in most cases. Probably like 90% of the time you'll want to clear those guys first. The only thing that they don't revive is bosses or mini bosses, and most of the time drones and shields as well. So after you clear out the reviver, then you can clear out the mobs and then you can move on. If you leave the reviver up, then it'll just be endless and he'll just keep on respawning dead minions until he's destroyed first. Okay, boss time. And like what I said, clear out the zombie first. And position somewhat. Okay. Jormungandr's not in the best place, so I'll try to move him. There we go. And I moved him back out. Clear the Smydra. There we go. Okay, positioning him under. And there we go. Next boss stage. Starting off with Pizarro. And this guy is going to aim for the zombie. There you go. And the mobs die as well. Cthulhu though, he's a no damage one monster, not a no gravity barrier monster. And I'm gonna miss his gauge, hopefully. And park under. Okay, that's not bad. And I'm just gonna use Saito's strike shot just to clear shields. There's not much point into it. I just want to show you that it can break shields. And since he's a Pierce monster, it's very easy to get shields. As you can see, I cleared 2 shields and did some damage. Ooh, I got a lucky shot there. That's called match. You really shouldn't worry about match shots, in my opinion. I don't really care about match shots as well. And there are shields over here. So, what's his strike shot? Oh, it's just a laser. I'm just gonna shoot the laser. Boom. Not bad. And hopefully get Jormungandr down there. Guess not. I should have saved Saito's strike shot for. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, those guys with the knives and forks do a lot of damage. There you go. They are really squishy, but they do a lot of damage. Okay. Pizarro. His strike shot, what I talked about in the beginning, is called command strike shot. I'll probably use it now, but I'm going to tell you how it works. So basically you hit everybody and then they'll move around. There are some mechanics that pertains to no gravity barrier monsters. So as you can see, there's no gravity barriers on the boss, but if you hit the monsters, so let's say I hit Saito Hajime S, technically he has a no gravity barrier ability, but since it is in his gauge shot, it will not be activated during that command strike shot when he moves around. So I'm gonna do it, and since he's technically not a no gravity barrier monster, he'll get stuck in the gravity barriers. So I'm just gonna shoot now. And as you can see, these 2 guys are hardly moving and slow down and didn't really get enough damage. The only way that they can move around is if their ability, their no gravity barrier, was in their main ability. So if it's in that where his D&D Slayer is. So that's one thing that's pertaining to gravity barriers. So some monsters' strengths and weaknesses, in terms of, especially with team counts, some people don't like some monsters because their gauge shot is in the no gravity barrier, and especially when you're bringing a monster with a command strike shot like Pizarro. Okay, last one before the Final boss is Shimmering at Battlefront. Last one before the boss of Izanami. And there is a lot of monsters here that are not bad. I'll take in a dark monster. Let's go with Eclipse. He is a no damage one monster. He's not a no guided bear monster. There is a Nanami, but I'll save Nanami for later if she shows up during the boss stage. I think it's a lot better if if I run her with Izanami during the Izanami boss stage. Okay. So far, nothing different than the other ones. Basically, practice positioning for Jormungandr. Okay. And there are 2 zombies there. It gets really annoying. So you want to clear off the zombies as fast as you can, because they start reviving, and if I show you, then sometimes they will revive each other. If I can show you, there you go. Boom. These guys only revive one monster at a time, so that's not really helpful. But some zombies do revive each other. And I think it's a luck of the draw, so hopefully I can get lucky and show you. Okay, 1 out of 5 chance. Nope. I'm gonna keep going until it revives another monster. Let's try it. Let's test this out. I have the luxury to actually take in this, but so far not being able to take out that 1 in 5 chance is really disheartening. And I cleared it. No, I didn't. Almost. If he doesn't revive a zombie, okay, there we go. He revives a zombie. So there is a chance where he can revive a zombie. And that is what some people call a zombie loop. So because since he can revive another zombie, he can basically be a zombie loop and then just keeps on looping each other, and you can never clear them. But this is a really simple version of a zombie loop. Some zombie loops are 1 turn, so like their cooldowns are 1 turn instead of 2 turns, and they revive more mobs at the same time. These guys only revive once, revive 1 monster every 2 turns. Some do like 2 monsters every 1 turn. And revive. But this is a very, very famous gimmick for the Izanami stage, especially in the legit one, which isn't impossible. These trial quests gives you a simpler version of these impossible quests. So my advice if you're practicing with the zombie loop is to plan on clearing 2 of the zombies at the same shot. And find the best ways to clear the zombies effectively. Some you can do it with bump combos like with Jormungandrs if they're lined up perfectly. Some you can do by swiping them repeatedly with like a pierce monster like Saito Hajime. And there's other advanced techniques. It's just whatever fits you the most. Okay. Boss time, 24 turns. And boom. And like any other zombie, any stage with a zombie, clear off the zombie first, because they're annoying. And there we go. I think these guys shoot gravity barriers, I'm not sure. Or this stage is just a zombie loop teach you about the zombie loops. Yeah, I don't think they show up their gravity barriers. They just have very minimal gravity barriers. But they do teach you that new gimmick of zombie loops. Okay. And Yomi Gundam can clear off that light Smydra almost with this bump combo. Okay. Last stage. I guess I'll show you Yomi Gundam's strike shot since his is stalled up. Let's clear off one guy. Okay, what Yomi Gundam's strike shot is a meteor. So whatever during his strike shot, whatever thing he hits and whatever enemy he hits, it'll shoot a meteor down at them. So I'm gonna try to get the shield. And get the boss, get that guy. That killed the guy though. And as you see, it shoots a meteor to the shield, the boss, and the guy that just died because Yomi Gundam is too strong.
Ashes to ashes, shards to shards.
And it strikes out to clear off the shields and miss Yomi Gundam. And I guess I'll use Piezo strike shot, although like I said before, it doesn't really work well with Yomi Gundam and Saito. As you can see, they hardly move. And of course Eclipse doesn't move because he's not a no gravity barrier monster either. But Eclipse's strike shot is also a meteor, so let's attack it.
One strike shot coming up.
Boom. Bomb. And it has a sleep effect. I don't really want to talk about sleep effects because I think that's a little bit too much information. But basically, sleep effects prevents the enemy from attacking. That's basically all you really need to know. There are some really detailed stuff, but most of the time you won't be needing it. And it's off, and it's based on chance anyways. Chances of that happening is really slim. It's like 10 to 20% at most. Okay, so that's all the normal trial quests for Gravity Slam, and the next one is A Flame Approaches. Well, that's not the dungeon name, but Izanami, and you have to bring monsters with no gravity barrier monsters. But just to recap on what happened this video in terms of advanced mechanics with gravity barriers, of course, bring no gravity barrier monsters. You can, for monsters that have no gravity barrier gauge shots, you can miss them on purpose to reposition your monsters for monsters like Yomi Gundam's one-way laser. Also, monsters with command strike shots, if the monster that they hit are not a base ability of no gravity barrier, they will get caught up with the gravity barriers around the map. And also zombies, clear out zombies first on every stage because they will revive mobs and it will be really annoying and you'll take more damage. And zombie loops, basically zombies can revive each other most of the time, and the best way is to clear both of them at the same time with all the methods that you have done previously, either with Pierce monsters that can swipe both of them, bounce monsters that can hit both of them, or with bomb combos like one-way lasers and other bomb combos that can hit multiple targets. And next video is going to be Netherworld Portal, which features Izanami, and hopefully my team will work. Hopefully this team will work, and I'll show you how the dungeon works. And if you have any questions about this video and the stuff that I talked about, then by all means comment, and I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.